then, well, I guess we're going to do it. So Larry's going to join us for this one. So anything goes. So questions about classic Animate Series X-Men, we'll just play it as it goes and get insight and all that fun stuff. So, are you ready for our next guests? All right, coming up first, he is an actor whose credits include Lock and Key, Death Note, and Riverdale. Today he joins us as the voice of Mr. Sinister. Please welcome Chris Britton! Any way you like, sir. Also, did anybody play the Capcom Marvel superheroes game in the 90s? Voice of Iron Man. Superior attack. And next, he's an actor whose roles include The Collector, The Man in the High Castle, and The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Oh, no, he's not. Wait, Adrian's not here, right?
Who?
Adrian's not here, right? No. Never mind. Adrian, I believe Adrian will be here tomorrow. He's not here with us today. Like I said, we're flying by the seat of our pants. But you all know this one. She's an actress and a politician whose roles include Outlaw Star, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the cult horror classic Visiting Hours. Today she joins us as the voice of Rogue. Please welcome Lenore Zann! Hello. And next, she is an actress whose roles include Naturally Sadie, This Is Wonderland, and in the Silver Surfer animated series, she was the first version of Gamora outside of comics. Today she joins us as the voice of Aurora Monroe, aka Storm. Please welcome Alison Smith. And next, he is an actor and musician whose credits include Silk Stockings, The Good Witch, and of course, Heartland. Today he joins us as the voice of Gambit. Please welcome Chris Potter! And next, he is an actor and producer whose body of work includes Troll Hunters, Tales of Arcadia, Fallout 4, and Castlevania. Today he joins us as the voice of the master of magnetism himself, Magneto. Please welcome Matthew Waterson. And our bonus guest, he is a producer, director, and storyboard artist whose amazing body of work includes Thundar the Barbarian, Static Shock, and the highly undervalued Pirates of Darkwater. Today he joins us as one of the creative architects of X-Men the Animated Series. Please welcome Larry Houston. All right, friends, welcome to Ocala.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Absolutely good to be seeing some of you again. This is our first dance. Good to finally work with you. So, since it's a mishmash one, I'm throwing all my questions out the door. I'm just gonna put this out, okay? For those who started with the original, those joining us for the first time, and everything else, I'm just gonna throw this, and then we'll get to questions. What's been the best thing to come out of this for each of you? Being associated with the part of this wonderful series. I consider this to be one long series with a particularly long hiatus myself.
Well, hello.
There you go.
The best thing is you in the audience. That's the best thing, the fans. And I think we'll all agree here that, to regenerate the fans from the original series and to create new fans for the new series and the continuation of it, it's been great. And all the cons, and have all of you come to these Comic-Cons and meet you and listen to your stories about how you grew up watching the original series and now you're watching the new series 30 years later. So good on you.
You know, I'm going to agree here with my friend Mr. Sinister, and I gotta say, meeting with the different generations of fans meeting the kids of the 90s who now have, many of them have kids of their own, and they're bringing their children to the show. Sometimes their parents as well. So I've oftentimes met three generations. And even like a little 6-year-old girl the other day told me this is her favorite show she's ever seen. And I was like, how many shows has she seen? But but she said yes, and I love Rogue, and I watched episode 5 6 times. And I was like, I said to her father, really? He said, yes. I said, we had a discussion. We talked about, what was going on. And I said, didn't it make you sad? And she said, oh, yes, I cried. But I felt really sorry because Rogue lost both of her boyfriends. So I gotta say, again, the fans, thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without you.
Well, I'm going to say the exact same. I love everything about this experience. I love the writing. I love the voice direction. I love working with these extremely talented colleagues that I have and being part of this marvelous X-Men team. But most of all, it has been the chance to meet you and to share the stories that you share. Make this all just lift the experience to an entire new level. And so thank you. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to do this all once, but twice.
We didn't get to do this the first time around. A brand new experience for all of us, whether we're new to the show or whether we're with the original series. These fans, it's just a palpable experience with fans that don't exist for us. So for me, that's been just a blessing. It's a gift that came out of nowhere, and I'm loving it. I had no idea back in the 90s that all you people were out there, even though you're all 2 feet on the table. That's the exciting part for a lot of us. For me, in particular, is this whole new version of the X-Men is, like I said, yeah.
That is a common denominator among the pre-internet era, especially with the animated series cast. I ask them all the time, when did you realize the show had taken off? It's like we didn't. They hid the fan mail, and if you don't know what mail is, ask your parents. They said they delivered. They would get in tons of fan mail, but they would never show us. It was like we only knew we were good when we got offered like a second season. So, but yeah, I'm glad that
You only knew we were good when they called us about 3 years ago to tell us we were going to do this.
Similar to everyone else, part of it has been getting to know these people and getting a sense of people what this in particular IP means to them. Because most comic book characters are cool, but very few of us are getting as like on the Batman, like other or aliens. So the thing with X-Men is that so many people see parallels to their own lives, and people coming up and telling us like, oh, this character meant so much to me because that runs parallel to something in my life. It's been really, really cool. So that's been amazing. And the other part of it is all of us being in 97 is getting to work with people who are doing the show when we first watched it. Because for all of us, and having spoken with everybody who's been added to the show, these are the people who they listen to. And these are some of the people who are instrumental in making people like, oh, a career in voiceover is possible, would be their fun. And so those two things together is really just an incredible experience.
yeah.
No, for me, I'm very happy that the legacy that I started that we can do that continue. I thank you for that. finished the series. It was like a 30-year gap where, for me, I thought people was outside of line, forgot about it. But Disney decided to revise the schedule and hire a lot of great actors for the show. They hired me back as a consultant, and really happy to be working there with a lot of the young talent that all of them are fans, like all of you, working on the show. And their stated purpose is to continue the legacy that started, and you'll let them work on the show with people that actually enjoy
Larry, someday I want to sit down with you and talk about your outside of body work, but really it'll be a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends panel. So, that's what we do. So, well, thank you so much for indulging my capricious curiosity. Like I said, I had a few more things, but I want to jump out into all of them. So, here's what we're gonna do. See, who thinks they have a question, please? I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do a line right in here. Like I said, questions should be directed towards everybody. Everybody can. We'll branch it out on stuff. Once we are first. You're first, you get 2 pieces. Hey, what's your name?
Eric.
Hi, Eric. What is it?
Well, this one's to Lenore's name. Really ask everybody how she would, despite not being from the South, I just wonder how she could pull off like Southern accent, like how she could pull off the Southeast Southern in a row. That's like,
Well, thank you for the question. Who wants to know how I grew up? Thank you, an amazing Southern accent. Well, I like to say when people say you must be from down south because your accent is so right on. I say, yeah, I'm from really far south. I'm from Australia. But I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking the Southern accent came to me so easily. And I'm thinking maybe it was partly because I used to watch Beverly Hillbillies when I was a kid. And was her name Daisy May, right? Ellie Mae, thank you, Ellie Mae. Yes, because she was so gorgeous. Yeah, thank you. But I'm thinking, I was listening to that. And also I had played a number of Southerners in film and television when I got cast to play Rogue. And the one other animation I'd ever done before I did X-Men, I played a Southerner, Sizzle, on a show called Stunt Dogs. So I was kind of primed, and it just came right out, came naturally, and I love it. I love Southern accents, so thank you for that question. Actually, while we're at it, I'd like to ask Chris how he came up with his Creole Cajun accent. That's a good story, too, as Gambit.
well, actually, it was a part of Canadian history. As a family, the French Canadians and the English Canadians had a patois developed in the East Coast that those Canadians ended up migrating to the Deep South, to Louisiana. So I was familiar with that Cajun patois, and that's what I tried to duplicate at the time. And then I just made sure that he was swift and smooth and really lovely. And
A real sugar.
and I gotta admit, doing that voice was a lot easier on my voice than the one I'm doing now.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, in terms of the accent, and when I first went to do the audition, I came from every single corner of the accent. They were voice actors in there from Northern Africa, South, East, West, and so the one thing I knew that I was not doing when I went into that room would have been trying to do any kind of authentic accent from any African country at all. Because if that was what, and these were women, they told me you were come back for their third and fourth callback. So if they wanted to take access from any particular region of the African continent, they had it right out there. So I knew I was going to have to do something that was a little bit different. And I just pulled together all the different parts of me. I happened to be doing Shakespeare at the time when I was auditioning. I'm from the Caribbean, Barbados to be exact. So I know that there's some of that in there as well. And it was just this whole amalgamation of my experience and then just trying to put the, I don't know, the dignity, the power, the gravitas, the grace that lived in those lines and just making sure that that came on.
I missed the audition because I missed my audition when I was saying for 5 or 6 guys my night. What was that?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? It's a long time to think back, 30 years. But the usual approach for me is, first of all, the text. And then I'm sure there was an image, the animated character perhaps, but usually it's the text and his relationship to who he's speaking to and their relationship to him, and that kind of guides the sort of direction that I take it in. And, perhaps Larry can expand upon this, but I'm sure there was direction. Chris, why don't you try it this way or that way? Or maybe I nailed it first take. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just process it. I'm sure you have a great talent coming out. If you were involved in this, were you involved in this? I was going to at least 3 of us. Myself, a representative from Marvel, and a representative from Fox. Fox is no one for listening to all that. We wanted to tell them the approach you take with that character. So it doesn't sound like Apocalypse or Magneto. No, go with the practice. Approach it like that. The company helped me run with that. Very good. We were auditioning for a role for a long time, and then her agent, she said, "Pick your bus." I said, "Oh, yeah, girls, it's me." The rest of the lines, and they were all like, "I remember said, yeah." She had to put more lines in the door. And it was like very clear to, yeah, I mean, so I had a package that had about 4 clips of the original show dated over the first, I think, seasons. And it was fortunately, they was a secret who's never shot a movie. So I had there's time in harmony. So this is the and the editing actually ended up being trying to have the right takes for cycles as a similar movie. But of course, ended up having a line. For me, it was a line. There's parade is somebody did a super clip on YouTube of cycles just saying G. And the way you listen to that, and then you're like, got it. For Magneto, there was a line, it was actually a Shakespeare line from The Tempest, which is a breaking world that has to be in it. And he said, says that in Interests that he showed for some reason, saying that line and trying to get as close as I can David will then switch in my head, switch me to kind of the right place for that. So that's kind of the unusual part. But most of it was listening to the clips, listening to what they could have done, and then just trying to get close to that and then stop thinking about it. Because I'm just trying to sound exactly like it, but I'm not actually just trying to do anything that without sounding weird.
Well, you know nothing this week, and I've never thought I would see a giant animal version of animation, and it actually looks okay. Actually, it's better animation than mine, so it was so.
I will take all the credit for that.
No. A lot of people already think that. Yes.
Including the Speedo.
Yeah, that was their revenge on me.
Right.
We're gonna do this, so now people will say, well, that's what we have to do for cosplay. I'm not afford the steroids to do that.
Hey, what's the name? So my question is this: a lot of other people say, "Oh, how people read the comments under their first activated? How doesn't read them?"
All of us.
We hear it a lot. We do hear it a lot. It is not just.
I know. And I like to say, well, we've been living rent free in your head for 30 years. We should be paying you. Thank you.
Hey, what's the name? Eli, what do you have? Sitting across the road shows storyline.
Okay, I'll go first on that one. I love, in the first iteration of X-Men, I loved doing a Rogue's Tale, of course, because that's Rogue's origin story. But I also loved The Cure, when she goes to Muir Island to try to get rid of her powers. She wants to be quote-unquote normal, but then she realizes that it's actually her unique powers, although they give her pain, they also make her who she is, and she has to learn to embrace herself, warts and all. And in the end, she said, yeah, I reckon I am my powers and the good they can do, and I reckon I can live with that. There ain't no cure for who you are. And I think that's such a good message, right, in today's, yes. I can't repeat it enough.
There's so many beautiful storm arcs. I mean, of course, I love the Life of that art from '97. But I remember there was, and I'm not going to be able to quote it, and I don't know if Larry would be able to help me. But in Savage Land, Savage Heart, for some reason I watched that back and I learned something about Storm that I held close to me ever since. And it informs a lot of how I feel about her and what comes out. But in Savage Land, Savage Heart, that two-parter, Sauron messes with her mind. And she does all kinds of, she goes absolutely berserk, doing some really, really wild stuff. But at the end of it, she doesn't say, oh my goodness, that was horrible, how bad behaved was I? I shall never do anything like that again. Instead, what she tells her good friend Roll is, that felt really good. That felt so good after all of these years of control and denial to finally let go. Never have I felt so free. And that has resonated with me. And just in terms of how I play her and what I think she holds inside, the control that is needed every single day, not to let her rage against the injustices of this world. What she has to do to make sure that they stay bottled up and that she doesn't just drown the world in anger and against this. It's just a key part of how I think about the character. So that's a favorite.
Anything else I want to work on? That's all good.
Next question.
Hey, what's your name? What is how different about where control how it's going to do with what
Can you repeat that?
wait, as opposed to like sliding back into these characters after so long. You have to go back and listen to their own tapes or just
I listened to episodes of the original series, and it was easy.
Me too. I listened to one episode and I was like, yeah, that's me. I think I can do that. And just, we did the auditions and then I got the word that they wanted to meet with me on Zoom and I met with the producers on Zoom and they asked me to come back and I was like, you had me at hello, sugar.
Oh, you know that adversary that we all have in the back of our heads, right? So even after you do the audition and you get it, you're still going, I don't know if I can do this. It's been 30 years. Suppose they don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, why did they recast you? And so I went around the house yelling at the top of my lungs for a long time. I am Storm, mistress of the elements. And went, oh, that feels good. That feels okay. And then I was in the Uber and I was heading down to the studio and I went, this looks familiar. But Toronto has changed so much in 30 years. Every city is marked it's changing, it's a revolution. And then I get out and I walk into this studio and I go, oh my God, this is where we recorded this thing 30 years ago. And I walk into the studio, and there's the music stand and the script, and it was just like, it was coming home, and Storm just came out and said she was waiting for her turn to fly again. It was great.
yeah. Just take it out and get back on the horse.
Me? Well, think about that for a second. We did a table read at New Orleans Comic Con about 6 months before they were going to recast the new series. And it was an episode featuring Cable, or featuring Gambit and his origin story from the original series. And we all read our original characters around the table. And it was a hit. And I had a lot to say in it. I think it's on tape somewhere on YouTube. And after we finished, I thought, I'll miss that guy. I hope this happens. And then it didn't happen. I still don't know why. But now I'm your cable provider.
What was the age or a line that you started, like it really impacted you? Like you think you go, wow, that really just you look about as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. That's my favorite line.
So the question is which line landed the strongest?
Yeah.
No, just whatever line, just essentially. Got it. So, in my case, there's a couple of them. One that was actually the line that was the most difficult to get out and get right because it has to be really clear there's a lot of other stuff going on. Was when Eric switches into German to the boy, just about to get obliterated. So that was one that was very moving. It was also when he did it, I went, oh, hang on, that's one that's got to come out very clearly because there's a lot happening. Also, he's switching to a different language for the first time, so it's got to be clear, otherwise people are going, is he going insane and talking gibberish? What's happening? So, but that was, I mean, there are lines which Eric has that are very strong commentaries on things, and that was one of the sort of most
I think Sarah, my question is, what was was there any lines or scenes that like were cut out that you wish they had not that I know of?
I'm not going to know on 97 now. I think they pretty much everything that they storyboarded went into the film. I mean, there's a lot of things that fit in on 97 are pretty much everything that they wanted is there.
I will say that one of the episodes when Eric and Charles are in Eric's lines, there was a lot more, and we recorded a lot more of that in the exchange lines. Like there's a line that ended up being Charles and Ross. But it went back to a line that Eric originally had to be spoken about. But it's been with a girlfriend, younger, realizing that she has her whole family around the table and he doesn't know her. And somehow, the line was like this, realizing that there's nobody on the planet that looks like you is like it's important shit. And I still realized that's all it was. And they switched it and went around. And to get Charles' line like that, so it's important to have people who see yourself. And there was a lot of teaching, like that scene was way more dialogue than Eric Charles. And it's clear down, and lines were exchanged with him. And I think that what they ended up in it was the right place, because he got everything across in an amount of time. The less time you spend on it to get the same point, the better. Cool. Thank you.
Hello, what's happening? Hey, what's your name?
I remember when somebody first reached out to me, because I wasn't around when these guys, I know Lenore has a beautiful story about how they sort of put the thoughts out into the universe as if it happened. But I was living a completely different life. I was actually in Barbados for about 11 years because I went back because my mom was sick. So this whole world was really, really far away. And I figured I'd retired. I was not the one. And somebody sends me this email, and it starts, "Hi, I'm so and so, and Disney is looking for you." I laughed. I couldn't figure out what the scam was. I don't know what this dude was trying to sell me, but whatever it was not buying it. I'm not even responding to this thing because sure Disney is looking for me. And then he wrote back again, and I thought, wait a minute, dude's serious. Like maybe I ought to listen to this thing. And so and then it sort of went from there. But I will never forget my initial response to the idea of X-Men coming back and the fact that Disney wanted to talk to me. Yeah,
Actually, I felt the same way when I first when someone reached out that first time for X-Men 97. I left acting for about 12 years and went into government. I was an elected official in Canada. And so I wasn't even thinking in terms of performing again. And then the same person reached out and I said the same thing. Yeah, it's real. Have them phone me. And then they did. And I was bowled away. But just very grateful and very appreciative that they have reached out to us and brought us back. It's an amazing experience, and we're all, I know, very grateful.
This is our last question. Hi, what's your name? We all have our favorite scene that was very heart-wrenching for us at this time. But I want to know for everyone, which is the one that you're like, oh my goodness, this has so good. I think it's worse.
I was when they told me that I wasn't going to be again, but I'm still crying.
Where's it again? Oh, well,
I don't know if Mr. Sinister cries.
yeah. I think with him, it's when he makes others cry. I think that's more to the point, and I think the whole Jean Grey clone, the baby, the voice over the baby monitor, that was sort of brilliantly creepy, and I like that scene a lot.
And the baby in the glass jar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was creepy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously for me, it was episode 5. I remember losing the love of my life, losing my soulmate. That was very emotional, and I was really grateful to get that particular episode. It's a great gift for an actor.
Well, I mean, there are two moments in episode, and of course, in her battle with the adversary. But when she first loses her powers, and she can't feel the breeze anymore, to lose everything that makes you you, all the things, I mean, when you weave your identity together, and to have that disappear and not quite know who you are anymore, how do you move forward when the thing that you think makes you you is gone? And that was mind blowing for me to try to imagine it as an actor, and it really gives you pause. You know, you're doing the line, and sometimes you're doing it. You're trying to, get it right, not too hard, not too soft, not too loud, not too whatever. And then sometimes all of a sudden it kicks over and it drops in, and you, for a few seconds, you can't actually do it. And then when it comes out, it's real because it's just flying out of place. It's not good.
Friends, we're just about out of time. Before we go, there's a couple of things. First and foremost, I wanted to thank you all. I want to thank you for your talents, your professionalism, and for the performances you brought to all these roles, and Larry, all the hard work you did behind the scenes and bringing these characters up. It helped create an entire new generation of fandom, which continues to grow. And again, for myself and most people in this audience, you are the voices of these characters. And you have given them life, and thank you all for being a part of this wonderful fandom, this wonderful series that means so much to so many people for so many wonderful different reasons, which is the magic of the X-Men and the story that's all been told. So thank you so much for joining us here today. Before we go back, everybody's going to go back to their tables in a little bit. Before we go, we're going to invite everybody to come towards the stage, not on the stage, towards the stage. We want to take a picture of this amazing cast and all of you.